Welcome to The Verdict. Tom Fair is an award-winning trial lawyer who knows there is more to our stories than what you see on the surface. He has built his law firm, Fair Law, into one of the top injury and employment trial firms representing people in California. Join us each week as Tom explores the successes, challenges, and lessons learned from some incredible people. Hit subscribe, follow Fair Law on Facebook and Instagram, and let's get to the verdict. And now, here is your host, Tom Fair.
Welcome to The Verdict, everybody. Today we have Shawn Walchef, who is the founder of Cali BBQ Media. He's also a podcast host, business coach, and proud dad. Since opening Cali BBQ in 2008, he has grown his San Diego restaurant and media company into a global brand using digital tools and smartphone storytelling. As a restaurateur who opened during the Great Recession, Shawn learned to use the power of the internet to stay in business. During the pandemic, Cali BBQ developed a scalable growth plan that is 3 times more profitable than the traditional full-service restaurant model. Welcome to The Verdict, Shawn.
What's up, Tom? Happy to be here.
Hey, good to have you on. You know, I want to dig right into it just like I would with my barbecue. I mean, what prompted you to start Cali Comfort Barbecue?
So we opened in 2008, the start of the economic recession. And when you get in the restaurant business, they tell you location, location, location. We picked a shitty location. It was a family location. It was my grandfather's real estate. It was a property that I actually had sold for him, and the owners turned over. A couple of different tenants didn't do a good job, and they knew that I had grown up in the restaurant business. I had an opportunity to get a full liquor license activated at the site. And that was kind of me and one of my best friends from college. He also grew up in the restaurant business. And we said, well, if we activate this liquor license, if we turn a breakfast concept into a full sports bar, family-friendly sports bar in a offbeat part of town where typically you wouldn't find a great family restaurant, maybe we could do something successful. And we did that in 2008. We weren't successful. We failed miserably for 4 years. But thankfully, the little thing called Web 2.0, the smartphone, the iPhone came out in 2007, and all of these free tools were available to not just restaurant owners, but all business owners to get your story out there. So we started a Facebook page. We took control of our website. We started responding to Yelp reviews, started responding to Google reviews, and really started to learning what real digital marketing is. And we did that based out of necessity. So many restaurants that opened and were successful, the last 15 years, they didn't have to do the things that we had to do. But because we did that, we really leaned into what we call smartphone storytelling. We knew that if we built a great barbecue business, if we had incredible hospitality, people from all over San Diego, 3.3 million people, would drive across the county, would line up on an NFL Sunday, 10 a.m. kickoff, wait an hour for brisket, bring all their friends, bring all their buddies. We could build a $2 million, $3 million business. And, we ended up doing that. But more importantly, what we learned was that a full service restaurant and sports bar, for the amount of time, effort, and financial input that we had to give to this business, it really wasn't something that was sustainable, that we could grow into the future. What we learned was what we can do with our barbecue now is that we can leverage barbecue, get more barbecue to more people using technology. So now we're really rethinking the entire restaurant business, the entire restaurant model, because of technology, because of social media, because of storytelling, and because it's 2022 going into 2023. I mean, you're an attorney that is interviewing a barbecue media guy on a podcast. And anybody that's listening to this, you might be smiling saying, what the fuck is a barbecue media guy? Well, a barbecue media guy is a guy that goes all over the country. I'm fortunate to get paid to go speak in all the best hospitality and leadership conferences to talk to business owners, talk to single unit solopreneurs, all the way to top publicly traded tech companies. I talk to their marketing departments, their CEOs. I tell them all the same thing. It's the same thing I'm telling you. If you're listening to this content, somehow, some way, you want to improve your business. If you're an attorney, you want to figure out marketing. You want to figure out how to get more clients. Well, the answer is easy. The answer is literally in your pocket. It's the thing that we're on literally 8 hours a day, minimum 8 hours a day. We're doing all of the amount of work we can do on our phones. So all of these different apps, if you go to the App Store and see what are the most downloaded apps, your clients are on those apps. The people that are looking for an attorney, for a divorce attorney, for a trial attorney, for an estate attorney, for a business attorney, those are the ones that are winning. They're the ones like you that have a podcast, the ones that are creating TikTok videos, the ones that are making Instagram reels, the ones that aren't, they have the courage to go, I don't need a digital marketing firm, a social media specialist. I know what I know, and I am good at what I do. I'm just going to turn this camera on. I know I'm going to look stupid. I'm going to sound stupid. I'm going to feel stupid in selfie mode, but I'm going to do this video that I would do in court, that I've done in law school, that I've done all over the place. I can do business in real life. I'm phenomenal in real life. But when it comes to telling my story in a vertical video online, all of a sudden I feel like an imposter, and I spend so much of my time hoping to inspire one person that's listening to this to go, I'm not an imposter, because you're not. I had to wait. Dude, doing barbecue on the West Coast, when you get into the barbecue game and you start talking to the heavyweights in barbecue that are from Austin, Texas, from Memphis, Tennessee, from Kansas City, from the Carolinas, and they go, you're doing craft barbecue on the West Coast. You're full of shit. You don't know how to do craft barbecue. San Diego, what do you guys do? Fish tacos and carne asada burritos? You don't have a clue what barbecue is. But what I learned was that I'm going to learn the craft of barbecue. I have a whole team of pit masters. Gene Goycochea, he taught us the craft of how to make great barbecue, how to slow smoke brisket, how to use Old Hickory pits, how to do all of these things. What we did is learned how to do that. But then we're waiting for someone to come tell our story. I was waiting for the local newspaper. I was waiting for the local radio. I was waiting for the TV to come and say, hey, Shawn, what are you doing? And then they would go tell our story. And then we'd have people that would come and we'd have a profitable business. It doesn't work like that. I don't care what business you're in. Like I said, publicly traded tech companies, they consult with me, their social media teams, their sales teams, their marketing teams. And I tell them the same stuff. Everyone wants social media to be someone else's job. It's not. It's your job. It's literally your job to talk about who you are and what you do. The problem is most people, everyone wants a commercial about their law firm, a commercial about my barbecue business, a commercial about my insurance business, whatever business you're in. I want a professionally done commercial, drone footage, sexy graphics. And this is, people are going to come and give me that's not what the internet wants. The internet wants you, wants clips of you, bits and glimpses of who you are and what you do, your vulnerabilities, your successes, your failures, how you helped your client. You don't need to give away secrets. You don't need to tell things that are protected, but you can talk about a story. Tell us a story. What was the lesson in the story? How did you help your client?
Yeah, that's fire. I mean, that's amazing what you just said and laid out for everyone. I think there's a lot of people that are self-conscious or afraid of taking that step. And like you mentioned, like, yeah, you might look silly the first couple times, or you
Oh,
might
you
feel that
will.
way.
I look fucking, I just did a selfie video for Thanksgiving, but like, I have to take my own medicine. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking to my marketing team. I have a media team. I have 6 people on my media team to do 4 different shows. We have a show for Entrepreneur Magazine. We're literally doing 6 figures in revenue for our media company. No restaurant on earth is doing that. I am. I have a partnership with Entrepreneur Magazine. I just had Emeril Lagasse on my show. His team reached out to me to be on my show. But like, even I have to take my own pill and say, hey, dude, we need to sell more barbecue on Thanksgiving since we're open for a 4-hour window. Go do what you preach about doing. Go in front of the restaurant, do a 30-second video, invite people to order barbecue online, push them through text message, push them through, TikTok and LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook, and push them through text message and email marketing, but do it through a video. People want to connect to other people. And I have to take my own my own medicine, because it's hard to do. It's hard to do on a daily basis to remind ourselves no one's coming to tell our story.
When did you mentioned that the first 4 years of opening up your barbecue shop, it was failure. And I mean, that's one of the greatest, people are scared of failure, but it's like the most important thing to do, because over all these different iterations and trying it, that's how we get better and figure out what we're doing wrong or what we can do better. When did you realize, okay, we need to start doing social media ourselves. We need to start making videos ourselves, because no one's going to come and do it. This is going to be our responsibility.
I mean, it was those first 4 years. You know, really it was the fifth year when we actually built a profitable business. We actually started doing a little bit of digital marketing. We were posting on Facebook back at the day, and I think Instagram had just come out. But I was expecting to send out a press release and to get legacy media, old school media, you know, the writers in San Diego, the magazines, the newspapers, the radio, to go, oh my God, this business, they're giving back to the community. They have phenomenal barbecue. They have phenomenal hospitality. Let's go write a story about them. And I remember sending out this press release and spending all this time reading these books of how to do it. And no one fucking came. Crickets.
Yeah.
Crickets. No one came. And it was at that time where it was a huge unlock saying, dude, we have all of these different apps that I don't, Facebook is not charging me anything to claim my Facebook page, to post an event, to post a picture, now to post video, to post a reel, now Instagram, now TikTok. Like, are there paid advertising? Yes, we do that, but all of it is organic. You know, it's more, the more that I give this. So the answer to the internet, if somebody's wants to start content creation for their business, and I highly suggest that if you're listening to this podcast, that means you're already part of the 1% of people that are actually willing to do what others are unwilling to do. Because that's the question. Somebody else will do it. Someone's already doing it. I mean, when you say that you tell your friends that you have a podcast as an attorney, what kind of response do you get?
They're like, what are you doing? Or some people are like, so some people are like, that's cool. There's other attorneys that have started podcasts too, well before me. And I give them a lot of credit, for getting out there. And, one of the things I wanted to do differently, at least with my podcast, is we're not just going to sit here and talk about the law, which is awesome. But there's so many different unique things about other people outside of the law that we can learn from as lawyers so that we can better serve our clients.
Absolutely. And it goes back to, are you willing to consistently do what others are unwilling to do in your industry, in your profession? Because if you are, then you start to learn the craft of storytelling. And that storytelling, it literally, internet storytelling, it's audio, words, images, and video. That's all it is. But we think, oh, TikTok, oh, LinkedIn, oh, podcasting. We all have these preconceived notions to what those things mean, how they work, what you need to do to get there. We have everything we need. You literally have an entire media team, media center in your pocket. The iPhone, the Android phone, it's literally there. I mean, there's free tools to start your own podcast today, but you have to be consistent. And the more that you're consistent, now you're an internet publisher. And as a podcaster, every time you publish on the internet, you see something, you're like, oh, I like that, or I don't like that. How do we fix that for next week? How do I make sure that the week after that? Because when we first started podcasting in 2017, nobody was listening. Everyone was laughing at me. It was me and one of my closest friends who owns a butcher shop. We called it Behind the Smoke, Barbecue War Stories. We started talking to other barbecue restaurant owners, butcher shop owners, and we just started talking about all the shit they never taught us in business school. In business school, I literally switched profession. I switched majors. I went from a business major to a sociology major because my business professors sucked. They were terrible. I'm like, why can't we learn about the real shit that happens in business? And that was how we started our show. And like I said, nobody was listening, but we were getting better every week at being internet publishers. And I can't tell you how many people now, I have 4 shows, how many people they tell me, oh, Shawn, I heard your podcast, but they're not actually subscribed to my RSS feed where my Apple podcast is, or my Spotify, or our YouTube channel. They've seen a clip of me interviewing somebody on Instagram, or they've seen a clip on Facebook, or they've seen an email. Like, it's all bite-sized content. And it goes back to storytelling. You can't discriminate how people find you. If you're not top of mind, somebody else will be top of mind. Somebody else will be in their feed. And if it's not their feed, it's their wife's feed, it's their husband's feed, it's their kid's feed. And they're going to go, hey, did you know that this attorney lives right here? Look at the kind of work that they're doing. We just had this problem today. All this stuff has been happening forever, right? Word of mouth marketing is happening forever.
With your content that you're creating, and you're absolutely right. I mean, the consistency, that's one of the things I think you said that's really important, is just, you can't just create one video or
No.
post, once a month. This consistency. I mean, how much time are you spending creating the content or thinking about what you're going to put out there? Because I know there's some people that'll actually say, well, I plan out an entire week to make a ton of videos, and I'm sitting there writing scripts, and it's taken forever for me to figure out what I want to do in the storytelling. I mean, how do you do that? Because you're obviously busy, you're running a business. I mean, you're doing a lot of things. So where do you fit this in, and how are you doing it?
So the difference, it's something that Gary Vee always says, it's document versus create. The problem is when you talk to people and they're creators, we're in a creator economy. Creators actually have a structure. They have a team. I have a team now. I have a structure, even though a lot of it's free flow. But anybody that's listening to this is, how do you start? Well, you start by eating. How do you eat a whale?
One bite at a time.
Yeah, one bite at a time. So what do I tell people? I tell people the most important thing is to get uncomfortable today. Instead of just listening to the podcast going, okay, great, I'm going to have a conversation about social media. No, the most important thing right now, 2022 going into 2023, is short form video. It's you telling your story uncomfortably in selfie mode to your phone. Once you do that, once you do a 45-second video of one idea, one thought, one per day, if you take that native video and you post it on Instagram Reels, you post it on your personal Facebook page, because a lot of you have personal pages. You're like, I have my business life and I have my personal life. Listen, you have one life. Don't overcomplicate it. You have one life, and people that are following you on Facebook or following you on Instagram, guess what? They know you're an attorney, but you've never posted anything about it. Why aren't you posting anything about it? You've literally worked your ass off so that you can provide for your family. You can take care of your clients. You can move forward in your career, but you haven't shared any of those successes. A lot of people think that it's selfish. I don't want to be selfish. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want people to look at me to think, oh, what are you, some influencer? No, you're just promoting your business. No one else is coming to promote your business. But once you start doing that, once you start telling your truth to the internet in a 45-second video, one video per day for 100 days, if you look back at the data and you go, well, what worked? What story worked? Which one resonated with people? Because it doesn't matter if nobody watches any of those videos, you'll find out which video you like, which one you don't like. You'll start to see how it works on certain platforms. Pick one platform first, one video per day. That's one bite of a whale per day, and you'll have 100 bites. Now you'll actually have some data to go. And is it going to be uncomfortable? Absolutely. Are people going to laugh at you? 100%. But guess what? When you roll into 2023 and now you have a content plan that every single day I'm doing a video, you check email every day. We drive every day. We do all these things that we never knew how to do every day.
Yeah.
One video per day of who you are and what you do. And the more of a data set that you have. So if you have a dog and you post about your dog, post about your dog. Guess what? Your clients have dogs too. If you have cats, post about your cats. If you hate dogs and cats, post about that. Everyone is not going to like what you're going to post. But the more that you post about who you are and what you do, the more that you'll find the people that you're looking for. And that's how people have found me. I mean, literally, I just got asked just last week to go speak in Madrid. Like, I can't imagine getting paid to go speak in Madrid at a hospitality conference. If you Google where Cali BBQ is located and you go to Google Maps and you look around, you go, what the fuck is this guy talking about? This guy's crazy. But the only reason I'm crazy is because I believe in it. I've lived it. I've spent 15 fucking years in one of the most difficult locations on earth, doing over $30 million in sale, building a barbecue media company. We're literally taking seats out of our restaurant, adding more smokers so that we can build the Amazon of barbecue, building ghost kitchens, doing deals with stadiums, doing deals with airports, doing deals with the Navy. I want to get more barbecue to more people and change the entire game so that I can do it in LA. I can do it in Orange County. I can get consulted and do it in Australia. All of this stuff matters. No matter where you are on earth, this shit matters. And this is the beginning of a long race. Everyone thinks I'm so far behind. Well, I don't have a podcast. I don't have a TikTok page. What's stopping you? Nothing's stopping you. Download the app. Post the video.
What was, you talked about get uncomfortable now. People laughed at you. I mean, what was that experience like early on? Or maybe they're still doing it, but
they still do.
Right?
I've gotten much better. I've got much tougher skin.
As lawyers, you're supposed to have thick skin, but it's funny how many of us will actually go out and challenge ourselves to really see how thick it is.
Yes.
What was that like for you when people were saying, what are you doing? Or, how are you, you're in barbecue and you're doing the social media stuff. I mean, how did you deal with that?
I mean, to be honest with you, it's something that I kind of feed off of it. I was rejected by all 3 law schools in San Diego back when there were 3. And I thought that I was going to be an attorney and be a sports attorney, sports entertainment attorney. And every time that I get rejected, or every time someone tells me no, it's kind of like, fuck you, I'll show you.
Yeah.
And when people say that we can't do barbecue, we'll learn how to do barbecue. When people say you can't podcast, we'll learn how to podcast. You can't turn your barbecue business into a media company, we'll show you how to do it. You can't, be a 40-year-old man, a husband with a 5-year-old son, a 3-year-old daughter, and post content. You can't be a bar owner who's an alcoholic in recovery. The more that I lean into who I am and what my truth is, the less I care about what other people think. Because the more that I know that I'm living my truth, I wouldn't be doing deals with a publicly traded technology company called Toast that literally, I told them I'm a barbecue media company. We're going to create content. They laughed at me. They said, yeah, right. People tell us they're going to post videos all the time. I made a video with my general manager unboxing our Toast hardware and talking about the software that we're going to adopt in our restaurant. Within 1 year, I was on their Toast customer advisory board. I was invited as one of 20 restaurants out of 60,000 restaurants to go to their IPO on Wall Street. So on the New York Stock Exchange, I was at their IPO. Now they're the title sponsor of our show with Entrepreneur. And they do it all because they believe in what we call a rising tide lifting all ships. There is something that is seriously happening with every profession. Everyone's trying to figure out how to get attention. And you get attention by being real and authentic online on all these popular apps. We all pretend like, oh, my business doesn't need to be on Facebook. My business doesn't need to be on TikTok. Why? Like, why not? Why do you think not? Like, it's the heartbeat of your brand. I mean, I interview these kids that have an incredible social media following, millions, tens of millions of following. They're cookbook authors, entrepreneurs, and they're like, if you're a business owner and you don't have an active Instagram page and you don't have an active TikTok account, you're dead to me. Literally had a 21-year-old, very successful 21-year-old tell me that. Like, well, I think there is some truth to that. Like, if you're not doing the things that you need to be relevant on all these different apps and all these different pages, updating your website, having a mobile first website, using what we call digital hospitality. How easy is it to book an appointment with your, whatever business you're in? How easy is it to buy barbecue? I challenge Toast, our technology partner, to make it like Amazon. I want it as easy as possible.
That's what consumers are expecting these days, and on all fronts is the Amazon, purchase. I mean, it's easy, just a couple buttons, press, swipe, whatever, flip through. That's for everybody.
Yep.
With one of the things, look, I love barbecue, and I've had like Franklin's in Texas. I mean, I've been in Nashville. We've got a couple guys out here in LA, and it's guys primarily that are cooking up barbecue. And one of the things I see, it's like, oh, we're doing a pop-up here, and the line, it's like you're waiting an hour or two. Even at Franklin's, you're waiting that. And I mean, I love barbecue, but if I've got to wait, an hour or 2 hours, I'm just like, how can we streamline this?
Yep.
I mean, is that something that you've encountered and tried to fix? Talking about digital hospitality, but the actual real life. I'm picking up really good barbecue. It's not dried brisket or that dried, pulled pork, and I don't have to wait 2 hours in line.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with barbecue is that it takes time and it takes expertise. And our mission is to get more barbecue to more people and to take care of people on their terms. Slow food, fast. How do you leverage technology? And how do you bring technology into a place where there is dynamic pricing, where if you and I and a couple of buddies were like, we're going to go to a popular barbecue place in Austin, Texas, why can't we order barbecue now? If we're willing to pay more to order barbecue now, for 3 days from now, when our plane lands and we get off there, we can just go and pick it up. Why not? Why not sell it to us? Why make everyone wait in line? Those are
Yeah.
the things, those are the discussions that I'm having and that I've been having the last 5 years in the industry to try to figure out how do we partner with these technology companies. And that's really the most exciting thing that's happened in the last couple of years for me, is that I'm working not only through the podcast, I'm interviewing the founders and the CEOs of these companies, but I'm finding out who is our true partner in our tech stack. Like, as a restaurant, I have a very robust tech stack, front of the house technology that we're using with Toast and 7 Shifts and Marquee and all these different tools that I use so that I can take care and I can be omnipresent. How do I take care of the guest where the guest is? Because some of my guests, they come from Yelp. Some of my guests, they come from Google Maps. Some of my guests are in a Tesla and they go, where am I going to eat? All of these different places that they're interacting with my business, it needs to be sexy. It needs to be easy. They need to know who our brand is. We need to have updated hours of operation. We need to have all of this information needs to be correct so that it provides them with an experience, an oh shit experience. But like, oh my God, I can't believe how great this barbecue was. I can't believe how easy it was to buy barbecue on Father's Day to bring to my dad. I brought it to my dad. He had an incredible experience. Look how great the packaging is. Oh my God, I want to make a video about this and post it on my Instagram and thank Cali BBQ for doing such a great job. That's the world that we're living in. We're literally living in a world where you and I buy products through stuff that we see from our friends.
Yeah. Or even, I mean, not only that, I mean, that's a big thing with TikTok right now, and TikTok's even, by just looking at what they're doing, they're trying to bring a whole commodity aspect to it where you can buy stuff directly from TikTok.
Absolutely. Social selling, huge. Social selling. I mean, Amazon launched their own influencer program. So
Okay.
Amazon will start paying people. They are paying people currently to create video content for reviews of products. So if somebody watches a video and then they buy a microwave and they go, then somebody's going to get paid on the back end, but it's going to help Amazon get more people to buy more microwaves. It's literally the creator economy that's happening. I interviewed Noah Glass, who's the CEO of Olo Online Ordering, publicly traded company. They do all of the online ordering for all the biggest restaurant brands in the world, the Cheesecake Factories and Jamba Juices of the world. And what he said was, when the smartphone came out, it was the first time ever that there was one device where it was content, commerce, and communication came together in one place. Content, commerce, and communication. And if your business isn't on that smartphone, on that smart device, if you're not in the playgrounds, how are you going to get picked for the game?
Yeah. I mean, that's a real wake-up call, I think, for a lot of people, in any business. And the kids, well, you say the kids, but I mean, I just turned 40 this year, and
So did I. Congratulations. We're fringe millennials.
fringe millennials. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm
graduate of 2000, Y2K. The world was going to end.
I mean, back when it was the dial-up era,
Yeah.
as a kid.
Napster generation, MTV, ESPN, back when Sports Center was Sports Center.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And every ESPN announcer sound the same almost.
Yes.
But the kids these days, or the 20-year-olds, I mean, even the teenagers, I mean, they're understanding this way better than people that are in their 40s or 50s. But people that are in their 40s, 50s, or even 60s that are running businesses, I mean, they need to get with this, however
Yes.
uncomfortable it may be, especially if they want to be in the game, like you said.
Well, I mean, the most encouraging thing, I have a media mentor, David Meltzer, and one of the things he reminded me of what my grandfather taught me. Actually, I've never met my father. My grandfather raised me, but my grandfather taught me to stay curious, to get involved, to ask for help. And asking for help as a man, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, that was one of the most difficult things for me to understand. And like, technology has moved so fast, and it doesn't matter what your profession is. We all understand where attention is. We're not stupid. Like, you can't be a trial attorney and understand that, like, where attention is. And the attention is, how do I be different? How do I differentiate myself in my business? I'm going to do that through content. If I'm willing to do what other people are unwilling to do, if I'm willing to ask for help, because I guarantee you there's somebody that that if you're willing to go on Facebook and say, hey, I'm ready to start creating content for my law practice. Is there anybody that can help me? I guarantee you somebody that follows you knows somebody that is really good at what we call smartphone storytelling. They're really good at doing video. And you don't need to do the video yourself. You just need to have that. You need to be the leader to say this stuff matters. I want our law firm to have a TikTok channel. I want our law firm to post one video per day on LinkedIn. If you post one video per day on LinkedIn for 100 days, I guarantee you'll transform your law practice. Guaranteed it. It's absolutely incredible what you're able to do if you're willing to show. If you're willing to show off, what do you do? So back to, you're talking about kids. My son is 5 and my daughter's 3, and they watch YouTube. Like back when they first started watching YouTube Kids, there's a little button that comes up while their video's playing, and it's an ad. They knew intuitively in the beginning how to hit the skip button because they don't want their content interrupted. Nobody wants to be advertised to. Even a 3-year-old doesn't want to be advertised to. Why do we think a 50-year-old wants to be advertised to? A 60-year-old? Like, we're watching things on demand when we want it. But if you be a show, back to my 3-year-old kid, if the person that's talking about dinosaurs brings in some new dinosaur toy, guess who he's going to tell dad? Hey, dad, let's go get the dinosaur that, Bobby recommended on the YouTube video. Well, there's kids making $20 million a year promoting those toys for those toy companies, but that's content storytelling. How do you talk about the things that you care about? How do you publish them on the internet? Once you start doing that, you change the game for your business.
Let's say, you've got some listeners that are like, okay, all right, I'm gonna start feeling uncomfortable, all right, and I wanna get good at storytelling, smartphone storytelling. I mean, what resources? And it's funny, it's like, what resources? Like, just go on TikTok, just go on Instagram and watch other people. But I mean, if you were to suggest to them, like, go check this out, or here's a resource to think about, or watch this, or talk to this person, is there anywhere that you would recommend people go to, just so maybe they at least have a point of reference?
Absolutely. So we have a community, a digital hospitality community on the social audio app called Clubhouse. So if you go on Clubhouse on Wednesday or Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, so Wednesday or Friday, and you search for the Digital Hospitality Room, we have conversations like this with content creators, hospitality professionals, sales professionals, marketing professionals. But all we do is talk about the things like TikTok, like LinkedIn, the things that we're trying in our business, the things that we're succeeding with. How do we fix our website? How do we do digital hospitality? How do we do smartphone storytelling? But come up on stage, tell us who you are, what you do, and then ask for help, because we have an incredible community of people that we're all just trying to win. Like, I don't have all the answers. I'm not one of those people that go out there like, hire me, I'm the end all be all consultant. No, we give all this stuff out for free. If you can contact me at any time, I'll talk to you about your business. I'll talk to you about your social media account. All we want for you to win. Because for me, if you're listening to this podcast and you reach out to me and then we book some time, and then all of a sudden you post a TikTok video and you tag both Tom and me in your TikTok video, now that's part of a long tail story. When I go on a dentist podcast and I'm talking to dental owners about the same shit that we're talking about for law profession, if a dentist, no matter where they are on the earth, listens to that podcast and they go, okay, today's the day that fuck it, I'm going to do it. I'm tired of waiting for someone else to do it for me. I'm tired of looking for the perfect social media manager. You're the person that's listening. You're the perfect social media manager. Do you have a smartphone? Yes, you do. Do you have a story? Yes, you do. No one's coming to tell it. You have everything you need. Tell the story.
At the end of the day, I mean, you mentioned this earlier, is like, in order to see what works and what doesn't, right? Some people think, okay, I got to hire this firm or this agency or whatever to do it. But if you just go back, if you just said, like, what's the video I liked? Or what's the video that resonated with me? Or in fact, I mean, you're going to get the feedback from people that are watching it, either from the comments that people are leaving, or from the likes or the views that you see from it. And you could see a pattern of what videos work and what don't. I mean, even the stuff that I post, I'm like, all right, I got a lot of people were into that, or a lot of people thought that was cool. Some people thought this video didn't go very far. I mean, I'm getting that feedback, and then I know I got to improve on it too. You know, I've got
When
to.
when you go to law school, do they teach you how to talk to a client?
Oh no.
When you go to law school, do they teach you how to talk to a jury?
You know what? Not really. It's kind of it's really it's so bizarre. Like I people ask me like, what did I learn from law school? And I'm like, I don't think very much. Like the practical stuff. I mean, you pay a lot of money to go to law school, and you've got this large student debt. But I mean, so much of it is not what we're doing, because it's relationships and getting to
Yep.
know people and talking to a jury and being a trial lawyer is one of those things that you really have to learn by doing it over and over again.
Yeah.
You can tell people what it is, but I mean, you're not, I say it's like you could read anything you want about lifting weights, but if you're not the one in the gym doing it, you ain't going to get buff.
Correct. And it's the same thing with content. It's the same thing with publishing on the internet. Same thing with podcasting, the same thing with being a podcast guest, being a podcast host, creating a YouTube video, a TikTok video, a LinkedIn post. It's like, how do you make better barbecue? You have to make a lot of shitty barbecue. Like, we made a lot of shitty barbecue before we learned how to make really good barbecue. We made a lot of really bad videos before we learned how to make better videos. Now I get videos that get shared on LinkedIn, and then I go to, National Restaurant Association, and I'm speaking there, and I go on the floor, and there's people like, hey, Shawn, what's up? I see your LinkedIn videos. This person has never liked my videos, never commented on my videos, yet they feel like they know me, and they know our restaurant, and they know my family, and they know that I work with Toast, and they know that I do this, and they know that I have a show, and they want to do business. And now they're reaching out to be a sponsor on my show. Like, how does that happen? Well, it happens through a lot of uncomfortable moments.
Yeah. Is
A
there
lot
is
of uncomfortable moments.
is there a particular medium that you found more effective, or is it just like you can't focus on one or even a handful? I mean, you've got to hit them all.
I mean, right now, the best advice that I can give to anybody that's listening to this is to go on to TikTok. And the reason why I say TikTok is because it's the most uncomfortable thing for anybody. Every person that I talk to huge, like I said, companies like Yelp, companies like Toast. I tell them that they need to post more content on TikTok. I tell a single unit, barbecue restaurant owner that he needs to post on TikTok. Doesn't matter what profession you're in. TikTok is the answer because it's so uncomfortable, but also because it's vertical video, short form storytelling. Vertical video, short form storytelling. So if you can do a 45-second video on TikTok, you can use that same video for Instagram Reels. And if you're on Instagram, you shouldn't be posting any photos anymore. Literally, the CEO of Instagram came out and said they're not a photo app anymore. They're a video app. They're literally trying to keep up with TikTok. YouTube Shorts is the same thing, but don't make it complicated. Just do one video per day, but you have to publish the video.
Don't forget that part.
Do you know how many takes? You know how many takes when I bring out my media team? So I do a lot of content myself, but then I also have a media team for our like long form. Do you know how many takes I'll do with them? Average?
How many?
One. Because every time everything after that is shit. I start to think about what I'm saying. I start to stutter. I start to go, I like what I said. I don't like what I said. Edit that out. Don't edit that out. We don't edit anything. It's just, this is the video. We're going to publish it, and the internet's going to react how they're going to react. And maybe it is no reaction. We think about, how do you build community online? I mean, you build community online by being vulnerable. And that's really the competitive advantage that you have if you're in a place in your business where nobody's going to give you shit. And I would argue that if you're in a law firm where they don't allow you to post because that's not what you're supposed to do, I would highly consider getting into a different law practice. Because I have friends in commercial real estate that do restaurant real estate, and they literally have had to change multiple commercial firms because of their TikTok channel. This guy has millions of views on his TikTok channel.
Wow.
Kyle and Sarah. Yeah. His name's
This was
Kyle
someone
and
that
Sarah.
they weren't allowed, Kyle and Sarah. So if you want to see that, they weren't allowed at one of their commercial firms to do that.
Correct. Discouraged.
Wow.
Because that's not what they're supposed to do.
It's been said that lawyers are sort of with like dinosaurs in a lot of ways, or we do things.
Every profession seems to think that they're technology dinosaurs and content dinosaurs. Funny. I don't know if that's just the crutch that we like to tell ourselves to make ourselves feel better, that it's okay that we're so. But it's funny because everything's happened so fast. It's happened at such an 2007 is when the first iPhone came out. We're in the beginning of this long race. Give yourself some grace. Don't feel so bad. You can start today. You're not behind. But if you listen to this show and you don't do anything, then it's a problem.
Yeah, it's truth. And it's funny. I started watching Gary Vee back when he had his wine show, and he was tasting wine and spitting it into a Jets helmet. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And no one at that time knew who Gary Vee was. I mean, I was just watching it to learn about. I just started drinking wines and trying to figure out what is it about wines. I mean, you once you graduate college, you have to refine yourself a little bit. But so I was learning that, and then this guy's just blowing up. And today, I mean, you see his content, and a lot of things that you're saying. I mean, I've heard him talk about it too, and you can't shy away from this, no matter what. I think at the end of the day, the biggest takeaway is you need to get on social media, you need to put out content, and you need to do it consistently.
I mean, so much of the problem too is that it goes back to what I said about the logos. Like, we have a preconceived notion of what Facebook is. When I say Twitter, people think Elon Musk, they think a takeover. Like, there's so many things that go on when I say Twitter. All it is a micro blogging platform. Can you write an email? Can you text? Okay, text in public and do it on Twitter. That's literally what Twitter is, texting in public. Do the same thing on Reddit. Like, that's all these platforms are, but we have so much subjective bullshit that we bring to the platforms, where it's like TikTok, oh, that's a Chinese company, I'm not going to give them my data. You've already given up all your data. Come on. You have an iPhone, you have a Gmail account. Like, Google knows everything, Apple knows everything. Don't kid yourself. Like, if you want to connect, if you want to grow your business, this is the greatest time to be in business. Literally, you can connect with attorneys all over the globe. The specific industry that you're in. I'm connecting with barbecue restaurant owners, with podcasters, with ghost kitchen operators, with people that are doing the shit that inspires me all over the globe, because of YouTube, because of podcasts, because of Clubhouse, because of TikTok. Like, I sent Toast a follow-up to their sponsorship for the last year. All of these different people, multiple different platforms. You name the platform, I have a DM of somebody saying, hey, dude, I saw your video. We've been in business for 30 years and we're looking to switch our point of sale company. I love the video that you did for Toast. Or, hey, I'm looking at, upgrading the technology in our restaurant. I saw this, video that you did about ghost kitchens. That's the world we live in. And if we don't think we live in that world, we're kidding ourselves. Yeah. Absolutely. Just go to your phone and your screen time and see how much time that you've spent on your app. Go ask your wife or your husband, how much time have they spent on their app? Go ask your kids, go ask your coworkers. Let me see your screen. Let me see your stats. That tells you everything you need to know. Where's your business on those apps? Your business on Instagram? Well, my law firms don't need to be on Instagram. Bullshit. Look up lawyers, look up successful attorneys on Instagram, on Google it, and you find out what the top attorneys on Instagram are doing. I guarantee you they have millions of followers. They're probably not even working with clients anymore. They're probably making more money than they've ever thought possible, all because of content, because they're a creator first and an attorney second.
That's an interesting take on it. I think I just say, from talking with other attorneys, that idea is almost scary to them. It's to think I would be a content creator first and a lawyer second. It's like, do I lose? Am I no longer doing what I need to do? Am I no longer helping people? I mean, is that a point where somebody, I mean, let's say you're making barbecue. Let's say, you're the one that's cooking the brisket, smoking the brisket. I mean, if you're creating more content, I mean, does that mean you've got to get other folks that are smoking the brisket now to help, or be maybe that's their role in the business, and you're there now, more the face of it and creating the content for it?
It's like that for every profession. So it's, are you working in your business or are you working on your business? Mm-hmm. It's the same thing with a teacher. A teacher wants to make an impact on a student. The internet has given us a stage and has given us scale. So if you truly are a teacher and you want to impact as many students as possible, or you are an attorney and you want to make an impact as much as possible, you have the greatest stage possible. It's called the internet. And how do you scale? You scale through storytelling, by getting better at the craft, by making a commitment on a daily basis. Every single day, you're going to get better at audio, video, words, and images, documenting what you're already doing in real life and figuring out how to repurpose that on the internet. And it's once you
Amen.
make that commitment, you change the game. I mean,
Yeah.
you and I have connected for, this entire podcast show. Now, anytime you're in San Diego, I expect you to come see the Amazon of barbecue. I expect you to, we're building a media center we're going to live stream TikTok, all of the ribs that we cook. We're going to be partnering with Uber Eats to do nationwide shipping. All of these things are going to happen, but you and I would have never connected if it wasn't for podcasting.
True.
If it wasn't
100%
for
true.
your curiosity or your commitment to doing that, you wouldn't have done that. And it puts you in different circles. The amount of conversations that I've had with CEOs and founders of tech companies, of media brands, of podcast agency, like you name it, I've had those conversations, and those people are now part of my network. They know who I am. They know what I do. And now they're leading to, like I said, an opportunity to bring my family to Madrid to go speak to owners and operators that the same thing that I say in Chicago, the same thing that I said in Toronto, the same thing I said in LA last week, same thing you and I are talking about. I'm going to go say the exact same thing in Madrid. I'm not saying anything new.
And
I believe this to the core of my being.
oh, dude, that's everything you've said. I could tell it's coming. You're not giving any baloney. I mean, this is what you're living and breathing right now, and it's also what's allowed you to grow your business. I was gonna say though, in Madrid, you might not get any barbecue, but you'll get some Iberico ham. So
Yeah, absolutely. I lived in Alicante, Spain, so I'm excited to go back.
yeah,
Get myself some paella.
for sure. One of my favorite countries to visit and to eat at. Let me ask you, where do you see the future of Cali Barbecue Media going?
The most exciting part is that we're just at the beginning of the race. I know the classic fable, the hare and the tortoise. I've always wanted in my life to be the hare. It's always sexy to be the startup, the unicorn startup, that you start a business and you're successful, you make all this money, but like that's really not what life is. Life is about the tortoise. It's about showing up every day in the consistent, persistent pursuit of my potential. The Mamba mentality. It's how do I get 1% better every single day? And if I continue to do that and I stack on stack and stack skills on top of those skills, then I'll look back and I'll be like, are you kidding me? We have a show with Entrepreneur Magazine. Like, that's fucking crazy. Every single week we're putting out content. I'm going to interview Rob Deerdeck at the Deerdeck Machine. Like, this guy literally runs MTV, content creator, professional skateboarder that now has multiple $100 million exits. His team's reaching out to me to come onto my show. Like, that's absolutely insane. I'm going to go bring barbecue to him, talk to him about media, content creation. How did he, do the brand deals that he did? That is just the beginning of this very long race. If I look back on the 15 years that we've had, getting from no one giving a shit about our business, being a breakfast concept, into a barbecue concept, into a sports bar. Now we're a barbecue media company. I mean, the next 15 years are going to be incredible. It's like, what can I do today? Today, I can have conversations like this. Hopefully one person, two people from this show post their video, do 100-day challenge, post 100 videos, maybe show up on Clubhouse. Say, hey, I heard you on a podcast. I'm here to, ask questions on Clubhouse every Wednesday, every Friday, 10 a.m. Reaching out to me on any platform, Shawn P. Walchef, SHAWNPWALCHEF. TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever questions you have. I mean, I talk to all people all the time, and all I care about is the story, because the story's the greatest part about it. It's like when you look back and you go, oh, this fucking guy, I know this guy. It's the barbecue media guy. He made me get uncomfortable and do an uncomfortable video.
Hey, Shawn, it's been awesome having you. And I think, your message is so salient, so important for so many of us to hear, and to get uncomfortable and to get out there and be consistent about it. And this is a great time for, small businesses, entrepreneurs, to do things, you know, without having a massive budget and to be able to
Yep.
do it themselves. So, you know, thanks for all your words of wisdom. I know you drop a lot of that, you know, in all these conferences and get paid to do it. You're here doing it for free. So thank you. And you know, for sure, when I'm in San Diego, I'm ordering a ton of barbecue because that's just how I eat now. It's going to be a lot of meat.
You're going to have to do a video though. Are you on TikTok?
I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Definitely my LinkedIn's a little bit dry, but
you're posting videos on TikTok
yeah,
of the podcast or both?
podcast, Instagram. We're definitely more active on Instagram. I gotta say, we're TikTok, we're just getting started. So
okay.
that's
Well, you're gonna be posting every day on TikTok now. So
now I gotta commit now.
Now you're in. Now you're in.
All right. Well, hey, thanks again so much for being on the podcast, and look forward to getting some barbecue soon, man.
I appreciate you. Anybody that's listening to the show, if you make it to San Diego, look up Cali BBQ, send me a DM. You get the VIP tour courtesy of Tom and his team. Thank you.
Boom. Bam. Thanks, man. All right, take it easy.